Jess.
And I'm Ian. We're Bike Gearheads. Let's talk about NICA. We were just recently in West Virginia, and what were we doing out there?
They put on a race in Big Bear, so we followed two of the Morgantown Trailhawks athletes, Will and Evelyn. We also spoke to a few of the other key members of the NICA Association. The goal here was to see what NICA is, what its impact is on the people involved, what makes it so special, and just to kind of follow around race weekend. If you don't know what NICA is, that's okay. I didn't either. NICA, or the National Interscholastic Cycling Association, develops mountain bike programs for student athletes across the U.S. It provides kids structure, training, and lowers the barrier of entry for kids to get into mountain biking. But after talking to the people involved, it goes a lot deeper.
Let's dive into it. Here's what the people of Morgantown have to say about NICA.
Mission statement for NICA is strong body, strong mind, strong character, regardless of what we're doing. Whether that's riding out on single track, if we're doing infield games that are teaching a key skill for being on the bike, having kids interact with each other and helping each other out, either taking a leadership or following another student's lead.
NICA is something you can do for life. It's a lifelong sport. Anyone can do it at any age, really. Everyone that's on a team can ride. No one sits the bench.
With that mindset, thinking about what NICA provides, not just the exercise, but improving their minds and improving their character as they mature, I think is the thing I come away with.
Wow, NICA sounds awesome. I wish I knew about it when I was a kid.
Yeah, me as well. When I was growing up in Florida, they did not have a league, but they do now because they're expanding everywhere. And every league has to start somewhere. So let's talk about how the West Virginia NICA League was founded.
Let's dive in.
In Morgantown, we have a very diverse population of mountain bikers, but just bikers in general.
We represent 17 counties in the state. There's 55 counties altogether in West Virginia, so we're growing and growing. In Morgantown in particular, our county is pretty big and we have kids from all over.
We got kids from all different walks of life. We got some well-to-do families. We got families that are homeschooled, and we got some families that they struggle to make ends meet, but the team is very supportive in helping those kids out, and I don't think we've ever turned away a kid.
When I started the team, that was a big thing because a lot of our kids didn't have the right equipment, and we wanted them to have what they needed without having to spend an arm and a leg, and for some families that wasn't an option anyway. I just appealed to my community and asked for people to donate old bikes, and I got a ton, and we got kids riding, but we've got kids out here on all kinds of bikes. Big box store bikes, brand new bikes, but they're all able to participate and have a great time. In just the last few years, we were actually able to purchase a fleet of bikes that we call our Try It fleet. And anybody can come on an event weekend like this and check out a Try It bike. I don't think there's ever been an opportunity or ever been a situation in West Virginia where somebody didn't have a bike and then we had to tell them no. Like, we always find them a bike.
Okay, wow, so NICA really is for anyone to join. You don't even need a bike.
Yeah, NICA is truly awesome. And like I said, it's growing more and more every single year. It's really helping those kids and their families and the coaches and everybody else find their community.
Yeah, the Morgantown community has a really diverse group of kids and parents volunteering, so let's hear from them about the bike community in Morgantown.
I've seen many times on my team and then in the league in particular that we have kids who might join up and they haven't found their place. Maybe they don't have super close friends at school. Maybe they've tried other sports and sat on the bench and it was just completely disappointing for them. They come to this community and they find their people. I've seen it over and over again, especially with some of the younger girls that come to the grit camp that we hold in June. They end up just meeting somebody that they click with, and it's because we're all coming together over this common goal of riding bikes, but then they find commonalities with each other that maybe they didn't share with other kids. We've really built a community where kids can thrive and come as they are, and that's what we hope to continue.
Okay, I'm gonna tell every young person I know to join NICA, but how do they join?
It's really easy to join. All you have to do is reach out to a league director or a coach, and they will send you a link to the NICA Pit Zone. In the Pit Zone, you can fill out the waivers and all of your basic information, and then you're all set. We're gonna go ahead and put a link down in the description if you're interested in that. And it's pretty organic. Kids are already recruiting other kids to get into NICA.
So what if they don't have a league in their area?
Well, there's 32 leagues throughout the country, so it's likely that you probably have a league around you. But if not, you can reach out and you can put in a bid to start a new league in your area. We're also going to put a link down in the description for that as well.
Let's hear about the league in West Virginia and how that was founded.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about the community, but let's get down to the brass tacks of how the league is actually created.
I've been involved with mountain biking for 30 years, and I've just always had the passion, and there's only a few girls involved most of the time, and so I wanted to make that change for West Virginia. I just put a message on Facebook and said, hey, this is what I'm thinking. This is this organization that I think would be good for West Virginia, because we already had mountain biking and we just needed more people to know about it and hear about it. So I had an interest meeting, and about 60 people showed up, and we put our bid in and we said, we think we can get 80 kids. But we got 130 the first year, and then now we're over 400. When we first realized we were gonna have 5 events here in West Virginia, the national office came out and we did venue surveys, and they were like, this is technical. So the DNR actually got behind us, and they built us 5 courses in state parks. The mountain bike community has grown tremendously since NICA, because not only are we getting the kids on bikes, we're also, the families are getting involved. With each athlete, we normally get 1 coach, 1 parent that wants to be there riding with us. We need all level coaches, beginner to experienced, and it's nice to see, especially with our GRIT program, the ladies, the moms that are getting out and really finding the love of mountain biking.
That's great that Cassie had such overwhelming support when she was starting the league in West Virginia. But I want to hear more about how the kids actually find NICA. Should they be concerned about anything? That can be a little intimidating.
Yeah, she's just so passionate about it. And NICA's all about equity and inclusion, and she really makes sure that you don't have to worry about a thing. They make it really easy for the kids. So let's hear about it from the members of the Morgantown Trailhawks.
I joined NICA because I wanted to see what it'd be like to be on a bike team with all my friends too.
I would definitely tell someone not to get super worried about if they're too slow or too fast, because everyone's super encouraging, and don't worry about races because racing's optional too, so you don't have to do them.
I've gained a lot of friendships through NICA and just a lot of people that I know to ride with. It just helps me develop skills that I can use out on the trail even when I'm not in practice.
Hearing about them talk about the NICA community really warms the heart.
Yeah, it definitely does. But the cool thing about NICA is they have other programs within NICA that help support equity and inclusion. And one of the programs that I like the most, I know what it is, it's called GRIT, but the other folks at home may not know. So what is GRIT?
So GRIT stands for Girls Riding Together. It's basically a program that allows girls to socialize and ride together, because mountain biking can be a pretty intimidating sport to get into. It's very dominated by males, and there isn't a lot of female representation, so it kind of eases you into it, makes it more comfortable. It's all about equity and inclusion, making sure that everyone feels supported.
Yeah, it was really awesome to see all the girls riding together, but let's hear it from them.
We are very focused on bringing in girls and female student athletes and coaches to increase participation in our sport, because mountain biking historically has been male dominated, and we want it to be for everyone. And in the GRIT program, we actually have GRIT ambassadors. They're girls that have applied for and become ambassadors for a program, and that is their entire job, and they love it. They lean into it so hard. They bring in every girl that they see. They make them feel welcome. They get to know their names, and it's just an incredible thing to watch these kids interact. And then we also get the opportunity to teach male allyship and what that looks like. Our male student athletes and coaches can support and welcome girls into the community so that they want to stay. One of my favorite things about the GRIT camp is that these girls all make friends with each other over West Virginia, and it makes the state feel really small because they have connections all over the place. I have a girl on my team, actually, her best friend, she made at GRIT camp, who lives all the way on the other side of the state, and they are just as close as can be. I'm not sure that they would have ever met if it wasn't for the GRIT program, for West Virginia NICA, and for these event weekends where we bring everyone together.
GRIT is truly awesome. You heard it from them. It just gives them a place to empower each other and ride bikes. It's great, but can we get into the race?
Whoa, Jess, not yet. I know you're really competitive, but NICA's not all about racing. NICA's about getting more kids on bikes in a really safe place.
I guess, yeah, that's true. A lot of them have never ridden a bike before, so how do you get them ready to race?
Yeah, well, we're gonna show you a practice, and that gives them the skill sets to actually do a race weekend.
I think a majority of the coaches would say that the primary goal for practice is for every single kid to have fun. Like, we usually have a skill picked out that we want to teach that night. Make sure everyone's ready to ride, that they have, water, if there's any medications that are needed, the bikes are all checked out. And then we break up into our ride groups, kind of divided by age and skill level. Whoever's leading that group will go over the skill. They'll talk about it, they'll demo it, show it to the kids, and then we usually get the kids to do it kind of in an open field. The nice thing about an open spot is you can keep an eye on everybody. If you're on a single track in the woods, you see them and then 20 seconds later they're gone and you don't know where they are. If we do that, like on a single track system where we can't keep an eye on everybody at the time, we actually have to station coaches around that mini course, almost like a stationary course marshal, just to make sure everyone's managing their risk, being safe, especially for the kids that are younger and just they're still kind of hesitant being out on trail in the woods with some of the features that they're getting still accustomed to. Having an open grass field like that makes it familiar for them, and they feel a little bit safer. If they fall, there's not a rock or a tree limb there to make it interesting on the way down to the ground. We'll demo it in the field, make sure everyone's comfortable doing that, and then we will ride out to an area where they can actually practice that skill on actual single track and have them comfortable doing it in the grass setting. But now if they're out on the trail, they find out that they can do it. That model works really well. Some of our first year riders this year, they've grown by leaps and bounds in just in a month or two before we even get it in the race season. They are much better riders with that kind of model.
Their practice seems really unique in that they're practicing in a place where you normally wouldn't do mountain biking in an open field, which is really interesting because it takes away the fear factor of learning how to mountain bike and gives them a space to safely learn about bike handling and racing. I also noticed that there's kids of all ages at practice. What do you think that does for their development?
I think it does a lot for their development on and off the bike. It sort of created a mentor-mentee relationship with the older kids helping out the younger kids. And it also helped the younger kids get better in their bike handling skills and other things because they were looking up to the older kids that had more experience. But don't take it from me, let's hear from them.
It's great to ride with riders around all ages because being an older rider, you have people to teach, and being a younger rider, you have people to look up to and kind of follow the example of them.
I have a lot of friends that are younger, and it's just fun because you can mentor them and help them with anything that they need.
A lot of kids, when they start on the team, they're in middle school. Middle schoolers are very unsure about themselves. They're trying to discover who they are. They're very unsure about their capabilities. Their bodies are going so fast that their center of gravity is really off. My 13-year-old could tell you about that. Having them learn a skill, something new to them, apply it, have them succeed, it's a huge confidence booster.
Everyone's super encouraging, and a lot of times if we don't make it over something once, we'll just go and keep retrying it over and over again. We did that a lot last night. There were a lot of features that we sessioned a bunch, and we just kept retrying them until we got them. And it just feels super good once you get that skill down.
Having a mixed age group like that from 6th to 12th grade has been awesome. Our older student athletes, every single one of them just steps into this mentoring and leadership role, and it's incredible to watch. And that's kind of what we push for because, as these kids get older, as you see, they totally shred. They are so good that they're faster than any of us coaches can ever ride. At practice, we may not be able to offer them the fastest lap that they've ever had, or they may not leave practice feeling like they got a workout. But what they do get at practice is the opportunity to mentor and connect with younger people. That builds character. I mean, that is one of the most, I think, impactful things that we do with our student athletes is encourage them to guide and lead others.
It's really special to see that the kids have the opportunity to go from a rookie to a NICA vet and pass down that knowledge to the younger kids. Those are transferable skills that they're gonna remember for the rest of their lives, and honestly, memories that are gonna last forever.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely good skills to help them grow into awesome young adults. All right, Jess, I think you've waited long enough. Is it time to go over the race? Yes. All right, let's go check it out.
I'm local to Big Bear, so I've ridden these trails for so many years, and just the family that owns the property has been supportive since day one for us. The community that is here, it's just amazing.
I've raced Big Bear every single year I've been in NICA, and I really like the course just because it's really close and I've rode it a lot. I just really like it because it's super techy. There's a lot of really rocky uphills, and I like climbing a lot. So that's what I just enjoy that a lot. I get to see all my friends that I haven't seen like a lot this year, and I'm just really excited to race, and this is definitely my favorite race, so I'm just really excited for this.
Will started in 6th grade, and he's always been a strong rider, but I feel like in just the last few years, he has really taken off with his skill. This race is his first race where he's gonna be in the varsity wave. It was really exciting. He started out as JV3 at the beginning of this season and just totally killed it. And so he's petitioned up to varsity, and I cannot wait to see how he does.
I just wasn't feeling really challenged in JV3, so I wanted to move up to varsity. I'm looking forward to how there's a different varsity course, and it's a lot more exciting than the regular one. It has a lot bigger rocks and more technical sections.
I kind of look at race weekend as it's a big party atmosphere. I would say about 2/3 of the student athletes that are there to race, they're not there to podium. They're there to have fun and be on a race course with a number and a time, regardless of why you go to a race weekend, whether you're there to race or not, to be in the race. You know, we have kids show up, they don't race at all, but since they're registered in the league, they can get out and ride on the race course during the pre-ride and enjoy that. And we also have families that go up and camp for 3 days, maybe even 4 days, and just make up a mini vacation out of it.
You'll see throughout the day that kids just ride every chance they get, even though they're racing tomorrow. They spend the entire day on their bikes, having a blast. We all eat together, we hang out, we roast marshmallows at night together. It doesn't matter what team you're on. And the biggest part of this community is that we cheer for everybody.
Oh my God, that was huge. Will got first and Evelyn got third. I bet that was the best experience for them.
Yeah, that was amazing. And Will, he was in JV, just crushing it there, advances up to varsity and then wins. Unbelievable. What a great effort from both of our athletes.
Insane. Racing aside, there was a lot more that went into the weekend that made it so special, but I can't quite put my finger on it.
You don't remember when we showed up and there were just people everywhere, there were campers lining the course, families make an entire weekend out of it. It's just incredible.
So how can you volunteer to help make the weekend so special?
Yeah, so it's not just about the race weekend. It's about the NICA experience as a whole. You can really make an impact on these kids if you want to volunteer. I mean, you can be a coach, you can just be a parent out there, brother, sister cheering them on across the finish line. You can cook for them at the event. You can be the band member playing for them while they're doing band. You can make the little fire.
Okay, yeah. I want to hear it from them.
NICA goes through a lot of training. There's proof in that, like just within a couple weeks or a month of new kids being on the team and seeing them conquer something that they were obviously really hesitant about doing it, whatever it is. It's great to see that the training's worth it, the philosophy's worth it, and then me as a parent or a coach, it always brings a smile to my face seeing that, we're having collectively, it's not just one parent or one coach, but collectively we're really having a positive impact.
I'd say hard work is a big point. Like, if you work really hard, you're gonna get the stuff you work towards.
I definitely think it's gonna encourage me to keep riding, especially after I graduate, I can use all the skills I've learned in NICA as I get older. Also, I'll probably still have all my friends and I can go ride with them after I graduate, and I'll just have a group of people that I can ride with.
NICA would really set me up because I've gained a lot of friendships through NICA and just a lot of people that I know to ride with. It just helps me develop skills that I can use out on the trail even when I'm not in practice.
It fills my cup more than anything I've ever done to watch these kids make friends with each other, have a great time, become better riders, and just watching them all become, better, stronger people. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Wow, so that all culminates into having a huge impact on these kids and student athletes and the NICA community as a whole.
It truly is a really good setup they have.
Yeah, I've really learned a lot about NICA today. Thanks for taking me through all of that. And I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Jess and Cassie, our athletes Will and Evelyn, Coach Todd, and countless others that we're not mentioning, the kids that wanted to help us fly the drone around. It was great to be out there shooting with them.
If you're looking to get involved, whether it's signing your kid up or starting your own league, we included all of the links down below, so check them out.
Yeah, and we hope to see you out there on the trails.